So how do you break into the luxury real estate market? I get asked that question all the time. My name's Kevin Ward with YesMasters.com, and I want to just share with you today the very simple strategies for how to break into the luxury market. Not only how to break into it, but how to break into it fast, how to get into it like today. So there's really two steps. It's really simple, and I'm just going to give them to you because it's really this simple. Number one is you got to talk to rich people. That's it. Talk to rich people. You just got to talk to you. If you're going to break into the high end, if you're going to break into the luxury real estate market, who buys and sells luxury real estate? People that own it, people that can afford it. That's the rich. Now, I want to just say this, that immediately when I use this term rich, then all kinds of beliefs and values and emotions, people's emotions go totally haywire when we start thinking of rich. Because people think rich is evil, rich is greedy, rich is, whatever, rich is snooty, they're snobs. I mean, the gambit of emotions and thoughts that go through the average person's mind in America, and I want to say average, it doesn't matter how much money you have, that we kind of freak out over the term the rich. At least for a lot of you that are watching this video right now, the reason you're wanting to break into the high end is you don't feel like, I don't know how to do it. I'm not rich, so how do I break into it? Well, it's real simple. Talk to a lot of rich people. Talk to people that can afford to buy luxury real estate or that own luxury real estate. Well, I don't know what to say or how to say it. Here's the next key. Now, this is actually still under number one, is that practice talking only to affluent people. If you really want to get there fast, you say, well, I'm just not comfortable. I'm not comfortable now. I didn't grow up. Listen, my name's Kevin Ward. I grew up in a mobile home. That's how I grew up. I can still remember the first time I sold a luxury home in Colleyville, Texas in 1999. And I mean, I walked into the house. I had never seen a house in real life that nice. I'd never even imagined a house that nice. And before I moved to that area and started selling real estate, and I still freaked out and I totally felt unworthy. So I'm just letting you know, if you feel that, that's not an unusual feeling if you've never been there. So you got to start talking to rich people. Now, for those of you that grew up, if you grew up in an affluent area or you live in an affluent area, you have an advantage because you already have some connections and relationships and so forth. If you have connections and relationships, start looking for those. Start identifying those and start building those relationships. If you don't have them, start looking for them and building them. You got to talk to people that buy and sell affluent, and you got to connect with people who are connected to the affluent. If you want some help on how to do that, there's a great book. It's several years old now. It's by Dr. Thomas J. Stanley called Selling to the Affluent. He's written several books on working with the affluent, working with wealthy people. So for in real estate, luxury real estate, who owns it? The affluent do. So you got to get into there, and you got to get comfortable with them. So the second big step is you've got to think rich, okay? Now again, I use the word rich on purpose because it's a little irritating to a lot of people, but I just want you, if you're going to work with the affluent, if you're going to work in luxury real estate, you got to be comfortable with the idea of rich people, of being rich and of them being rich. If you have a mental hang-up and say, well, rich is evil, like a lot of people in America, we're brought up that way. Let me just tell you this. Wealthy people are demonized in America pop culture. And I'll just give you a classic example that my coach James Malinchak kind of pointed out to me. How many of you have ever seen the movie Titanic? And I know most of you have seen the movie Titanic. In the movie Titanic, there's this amazing love story, the greatest love story ever. And who's the good guy? He's the poor boy. Who's the bad guy? The rich one. See, it's the rich guy's the evil one, the poor guy's the good one. And if you watch in movies, there's a pattern in a lot of movies where the evil, no good, the greedy, filthy, rotten person is the one that's rich, and the noble person that's happy and loves life and is honest and loving and caring is the poor person. Okay, well, I'm just telling you right now, there's a lot of greedy rich people, there's a lot of greedy poor people. There's a lot of great, generous, wealthy people, there's a lot of generous, poor people. It's not a matter of how much money you have. So whatever it is, you got to get through to think that way. Part of the benefit for some of you of reading a book like this is it will help you get to a point of thinking that way. Stretch yourself, get outside your comfort zone. If you're not comfortable in high-end neighborhoods, get in there, go to the open houses that other realtors have, walk to their stuff, shop, go shop where they shop. Go test drive a luxury car. If you've never test driven a high-end car, a Bentley or a Porsche or a Ferrari, go touch one. Go look at them. Get in that mentality where you start feeling comfortable and stretching your comfort zone so that you get in there with them. But literally, it's that easy. How do you break into the high-end market? How do you break into the luxury market? You just have to get there. Now, what is the difference between the way luxury home buyers and sellers think? Look, here's the deal, because this is primarily a mindset issue. What do they look for? What do the wealthy look for in a real estate agent? It's real simple. They look for competence. That's what they look for. They don't necessarily look for somebody else who's rich. What they look for is competence. See, when their car breaks down, they go send it to the mechanic or the service department or the dealership, whatever. All they care about is it going to be well taken care of and fixed right? They want to be treated a little special sometimes because they feel like they can pay for that. So they're willing to pay for that. So they're looking for somebody who's competent. They want integrity. They want knowledge. They want somebody who is absolutely competent and knows exactly what it is they're doing. But if you come across and you present yourself as professional, okay, so think this. When we talk about think rich, upgrade. Upgrade the way you think. Upgrade the way you dress. You don't have to upgrade where you live or upgrade what you drive right away. Just so you know. Okay, when I listed that first luxury home in Colleyville, Texas, I was driving I think I had still owned my old Jeep, and it was a Jeep Cherokee. This was back in the old days. A Jeep back in the 1990s. A Jeep Cherokee that had over 100,000 miles on it. It was gray. It was nothing fancy. It was certainly not luxury. It wasn't even a Grand Cherokee. It was just a plain old Jeep Cherokee. And they don't list with you or work with you because of the car you drive. But when you do walk into that neighborhood and into that area, how you carry yourself, and you want to look sharp. You want to upgrade the way you carry yourself and so forth. But here's the thing. Getting into that is fast if you just start thinking intentionally that way and get yourself exposed. Want to break into the luxury market? You got to get out there and talk to wealthy people, start connecting, start thinking rich, read books like this, subscribe to The Rob Report. The Rob Report is one of the great magazines if you want to see the toys that the super wealthy do, and start looking at that stuff, getting used to that stuff. It's awesome. It will help you think that way, and when you think that way, you can work that way and start making those connections and breaking into the high-end market. Don't wait. If that's your goal and that's what you want to do, start today. Start practicing. Well, I don't want to call expireds there because I don't know what to say, or I don't feel... Just call them. Practice on them. If you accidentally get an appointment, oh well, I guess you can go. You'll figure it out. If you screw it up, it's good practice. Get out there. Talk to them. Think rich. Talk to the rich. Make a huge difference. It's very simple. Breaking into the luxury market. If you'll just embrace life, engage the opportunities that are out there, play to win, and always, even when you're talking to them, expect yes.